everybody, Jason here. Thinking a little bit about stat modifiers in D&D style D20 games. Modifiers, like a half orc, we get like a +1 strength or +2 strength or whatever. Everything's typically 3d6. I shouldn't say 3d6. Everything's typically, before modifiers of any sort, naturally a range of 3 to 18. Whether you get that by 3d6, 4d6 drop the lowest, stat array, point by, however you do it. Typically, stats are 3 to 18. That number can be modified by your stat bonus, which is typically a modifier based on your race. So like, say humans could get +1 to 2 attributes or something like that, or a high elf might get a +1 to intelligence or +2 to intelligence or something like that. That's just an example. Whatever game you're in. There gets to be a certain point to where sometimes the numbers are a little silly. Like, you might have a group consisting of a half orc, 2 elves, and a halfling, for example. And your halfling is the fighter of the group, and the half orc is, say, a ranger. The elves are, 2 druids, just random group of characters, of whatever. But so you might find that your 2 melee characters are your halfling fighter and your half orc ranger. And just due to stat rolls, your half orc ranger has a strength score of, say, 14, which is probably not ideal for a ranger, but let's just go with it, because I know there's a lot of min-maxers out there. And your halfling fighter has a strength score of 18. Let's just say 18. Now, when you look at a halfling, physically, I'm gonna guess, I know that there may be some way of justifying a halfling being stronger than a half orc, but I'm gonna say that unless the halfling was magically enhanced, and or the half orc was either magically unenhanced or suffered a debilitating injury of some sort, or was crippled at birth, some sort of defect, something, you're probably not going to see that. And I know it's just a game and things like that, but some people would like for their games to be a little bit more on the realistic side in some ways. I know it's kind of hard in D&D to have some things realistic and some things not, but so an idea that I had, and I shouldn't say an idea that I had, I've been seeing lots of posts about and videos and comments about how things like this could pop up. And so some people are suggesting that you make, like, a suggestion would be to have your bonus, your stat bonus, be based on your class rather than your race. And I think that's a great idea. I think it's a great idea. However, I also think that your race, almost hit a bird, little guy got lucky. I think your race also could play a part in determining what your minimum and maximum could be. So say, naturally, this is without any enhancements due to equipment or magic items or spells or whatever. So let's just say, for example, the baseline human is 3 to 18 on everything, which it's just to keep it simple. So let's say an elf, a wood elf, might be 3 to 18 on all those also, except for maybe wisdom. Maybe they have due to their longer lifespan, they have a natural inclination to processing things that they've done in their life, and a long-lived species might have a better concept of taking everything in and processing it and learning from it. So maybe their wisdom maximum is 19 on a natural scale of 3 to 19. So your class bonus could say, say you, again, a druid, for example, or a cleric maybe, you would have a +1 or a +2, for example, to your wisdom modification based on your class, because those are the kinds of, that's the field of study you have for that type of character. So if your +2 bonus would pop you up to a 19 or over, say it popped you up over your normal 18, then you could still go up to a 19. Say if you had a 17, it could pop it up to a 19. If you had 18, it could still pop to a 19, and just not pop it past a 20. You still have that limit, so you're not power gaming too much, because 5th edition is definitely a power gamer's game. Let's be honest, and that's not necessarily a bad thing if that's what you're looking for, but that's, spade is a spade. That's what it is. It's a power gaming game. Let's say, for example, a fighter would give you a +2 bonus to your strength, and you play a halfling, and you have a halfling have a maximum strength bonus of 14 through natural means, but yet you would have a charisma bonus maybe or a charisma maximum of 19 and a dexterity maximum of 20. Then your plus, say you rolled a 10 for your strength for your fighter. Again, not optimal when you're min-maxing, but in terms of somebody who really likes to role-play a character rather than role-play a bunch of stats. And I say role-play stats as in ROLL. Role-play your stats. Or bonuses or whatever. So you could have a 10 strength for your fighter, but because you chose the fighter path or fighter class, you get that +2 bonus, which would pop it up to a 12, which is awesome, which really helps you out, because a fighter will naturally be more predisposed to feats of strength, fighting, climbing, athletics, things like that, barroom brawls, whatever the case may be. So I think there's maybe some new ways of maybe avoiding, or I don't want to say avoiding, I guess, that's not right, changing our perception of how we play the game in terms of power gaming, min-maxers, things like that. There's always going to be that no matter what. But maybe this could be an idea where there's some, a little bit of wiggle room to get both sides of each type of player doing what they want, whether it's, min-maxing or role-playing or whatever. You know, it's just an idea. I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit, watching for people in the neighborhood, because there's been lots of people out walking with kids and babies and stuff on the sidewalk, and don't want to run anybody over. But that's just an idea, just a quick thought about how to maybe alleviate that issue, to make certain parts of your game a little more realistic, and also could be a little more fun also, because, you know, nobody wants to play a half-orc fighter with a strength of 17 and have a halfling cleric in the group with a strength of 18 just because of some random rolls. It's kind of silly, you know, but whatever. Anyway, that was just an idea, just a quick thought. Anyway, hope you guys liked the video. I know I've been posting some other videos that are a little more opinionated and maybe a little less PC. And that is what it is. You know, I'm an opinionated person, and in these trying times, it's hard not to be upset with a lot of stuff that you see. But anyway, that's, you know, for those videos. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing or tuning in, or at least thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the thumbs down. Thanks for your comments if you leave any. What are your guys' ideas on some of this stuff? What do you think about maybe min-maxing your, you know, back in 2nd edition D&D, AD&D, I think they had, because I know with like 5th edition, I don't think there's any penalties to any scores. It's all bonuses, which I think that started in 3rd edition, maybe 4th, I don't remember. I don't necessarily like the idea of a negative modifier to your stats when you roll them up, unless of course you also have a minimum. I don't know, maybe that's another idea too. Maybe we should bring back positive and negative modifiers to stats also, based on race in class. I don't know, that's a good, you know, that's a good topic to have. It's something good to think about. Anyway, I've rambled enough sitting here in the parking lot. I will see you guys later. Peace out.